We live in a world ruled by tyranny, where knowledge is suppressed and ignorance is glorified. A world where propaganda and misinformation travel the airways at the speed of lies. But in the midst of the violence and chaos, a great awakening is taking place. And as the media empires continue to collapse, a new network is forming. A network of truth, a network of courage, a network of awareness. Peace and greetings. You are now tuned into the Network of Awareness podcast radio station, where we examine current events, politics, health, finance, and topics of cultural relevance in America and throughout the world, while bringing you insightful interviews with guests that will both educate and inspire you. And now, your host of the Network of Awareness podcast radio station, Aura the Informationalist.
Please just tell me what's happening to me in plain English without the mumbo jumbo. How you doing? How you doing?
My aura is a network full of awareness and gifts like Aura, the informationalist.
Yes. Peace and greetings, people. This is Aura the Informationalist, and you're now tuned in to a live broadcast of the Network of Awareness. And I got my guest co-host, Brother Alban from the BOCC, and we're going to have a great show today. And the beat is perfect for today's type of beat, because we're going to go in on this, the sins of synthetic people. And this is an installment of the Synthetic People series. So, buckle up, because it might disappoint some of you. But we're going to keep it respectful, all right, as much as possible. Because the people we're going to speak of have been disrespecting the Most High since they made the decision to believe that they are something else, which they are not. It's only a figment of their imaginations. So, welcome to today's show, Sins of Synthetic People, on this Tuesday morning, February 28th. It's approximately 10:53 a.m. in the St. Petersburg area of the Tampa Bay area of the Sunshine State of Florida. And Alban is broadcasting out of Buffalo, New York. Now, we're broadcasting live on video, which we're going to be doing a lot more of on YouTube today and on Twitter. So, welcome to the Synthetic People series. We're going to let this beat rock out for a minute, and then we'll be right back. Okay, I got these Bluetooths in, and I close one of them out, and this is what happens. Complications. All right, since I'm trying something new today, you know, it is what it is. So welcome, brother. Shalom, and Most High Christ bless you.
Shalom, brother. Most High Christ bless you, and Most High in Christ bless all the brothers and sisters out there within earshot or that's watching this video and everything. And I hope everybody's having a blessed day.
Yes, all praises that we woke up this morning, right? I actually
Exactly.
woke up at damn, when did I wake up? I woke up at I think it was 2:38
Now you
or
said you woke up.
3:38. One of
You
those.
said you woke up. I was like, you get sleep.
So when I woke up, I guess who I saw on Instagram? Brother Julian and his a new brother that's been coming to class, brother Noah. So I'm like, oh, okay, see what they're doing. And I popped in there and just started building. Met a sister from Louisiana that does I think she does podcasting as well with a network out in Louisiana. So got to do some networking, got to build with some of the younger brothers and shared some music as well. And got to make a connection to cross pollinate podcasts. So what's up with you, brother? I don't want to like go in real hard. I want to just gradually get into this topic because since we are broadcasting to YouTube and since this show is not a profitable show for the network like YouTube that represents a whole other type of energy. And I'll say I'm being polite right now. Because it's the righteous thing to do. So I want to just start off by saying that what we're going to present here is factual information off of documentation from credible newspapers, companies, or whatever you want to call them, but credible. And I'm also going to give some opinions and perspectives of what I think about these synthetic people that look at me like I need to identify with their experience that's going only on in their brain or within the figment of their imagination, which to me, I feel is disrespectful to me as a man who was identified as a man before I came out of my mother's womb or as a male. And by the way, I like the class that you did with Brother Kakam, the one that you just posted, Social Construct, because you made mention of that.
All praises.
You made mention about how we, before we come out of our mom's womb and they do that sonogram, what do? They tell you if you're going to have a boy or a girl. They don't say you're going to have a binary or you're going to have them.
Yeah, let's let
or they. Oh, congratulations, you're having a day.
Yeah, let's let they decide what gender they are when they're 15 or 3 or something.
Exactly. But yet, we have these what I call synthetic people because even with all the drugs that are induced, even with all of the laws that are passed and all that's legalized with the municipalities throughout the United Shenanigans of America and throughout the world, it's still, after all that effort, after all that demonic work, guess what? They still can't change what the Most High made them. Even if they decide to take out certain organs and replace them with prosthetics, they still can't change the genetic structure in which the Most High created them in, no matter what, till death.
Hey,
anything
right?
You want to add?
Yeah.
I see you there. Like you want to say something.
Yeah. So, the Spirit directed me to look up the word synthetic because we have to understand what words mean, you know, in this era again of when they're changing definitions of words. So I looked up synthetic. So relating to or involving synthesis, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, like chemical, biological sciences, like biology, not their biology, but, you know, old school biology definitions. And then I scrolled down and I'm looking here's one: devised, arranged, or fabricated for special situations to imitate or replace usual realities. Factitious, bogus, man-made, artificial, non-natural. So that's what we're going to be talking about. And there's a lot of synthetic realities, you know, an adulterer, a thief, you know, an idolater. They all have a synthetic reality according to how, you know, things actually should be. So we're not focusing in on just this one type of people. We're not, you know, bigoted. You know, we just trying to look at the reality of how things are and what people go into to justify what they feel is right. You know, they synthesize their own reality onto the rest of the world, basically.
Pretty much. So let's start off.
I know we said we wasn't
We're
going
gonna
to start
start
off
off.
too hard.
Well, we got to get into this because
Mm-hmm.
this is an abomination.
Mm.
And that's not coming from me. That's directly from the Most High. How the Most
Mhm.
High perceives, or should I say, how the Most High knows this to be true. Why does the
Mhm.
Most High know this to be true? Because it's just like, for example, as creators, whatever it may be, let's say if I create a particular sculpture,
Mhm.
I'm a sculptor, and I take a very long time to put my creation, this sculpture
Mhm.
that I chiseled out, did all the refining, everything I have to do to make it to become the image that I saw within my mind.
Mhm.
And then you're going to tell me that that sculpture is actually different. So let's say I created a horse and you tell me it's a cow. I'm going to look at you like, bro, I spent a lot of time sculpting this horse. I see a horse. I know it's a horse. I know what I created. Don't you think this the Most High does the same thing? Like it's like I created you to be a male. I gave you the organs to make sure that you are that. Now, whatever you got going on in your mind after the fact, that's on you. But I know what I created. So whatever you think you are is false because you are what I created you to be. And see, this is why it's an abomination
Mhm.
because it's it's satanic to the core. We know that. But
Mhm.
we're not going to even really get into that today. We're going to keep it real simple. So let's talk about this because I have an article I'm gonna pull up,
Mhm.
and let's start sharing screens here.
Okay.
And you know, when I saw this article, I was just like, it's it's sad.
Yeah.
It really is. Okay, it really is sad. Let's see. All right,
Okay.
there we go. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger so that the audience
Mhm.
can see. Shout outs to everybody that's tuning in on YouTube and
Mhm.
on Twitter.
Mhm.
I don't really have anybody that will watch my videos on Twitter. Twitter's a
Yeah.
very funny platform. Unless, I have a lot of so-called patriots that follow this So if
Mm.
we're not talking about Trump, they're not watching. Okay, so can you see this clearly?
Yes. If you take us out the picture, it'll make the font a little bigger. Yeah. And then you can also increase the font, I think, on the web page itself, and it should only increase the font on that page.
I'm trying to see how I could do that, but you know what? I'm gonna leave it as is because I'm gonna read this anyway,
Okay.
and I'll put the links in the description.
Okay.
But brothers and sisters, let's read this and let's get into it because this is something else. Trans woman Isla Bryson jailed for 8 years for raping 2 women. All right. Now it
So
says Bryson, 31, committed offenses in Clydebank and Glasgow in 2016 and 2019 before transitioning. You want to say something, brother?
I I so if he's a woman, but it was okay, just go on, bro.
Do you notice the Luciferian image of the one seeing eye with the left eye coming out the crack of the hair?
Mhm.
Now, whether that is coincidental or not, that image right there is very wicked. There's a lot of symbology going on with the one seeing eye because obviously,
Mhm.
for those that do know, there's plenty of brothers and sisters that brought that out throughout social media for the
Mhm.
past 15 years
Mhm.
or more. But I find it interesting that for this particular image of a person, a man claiming to be a woman
Mhm.
because they so-called transitioned. So we'll say they're a woman for now.
Yeah.
Uh raped 2 women and is getting how many years here? A transgender woman found guilty of raping 2 women before
Mhm.
transitioning has been jailed for 8 years. So literally, and that's jailed for 8 years, meaning that they'll probably get out in 6 or 5 on good behavior or whatever the laws are out there in
Mhm.
where's this at? Glasgow. What
UK.
country is that in?
UK.
All right, so in the UK. Now, do you mean to tell me? And this happens in the United States as well. So this is like in
Mhm.
with Western civilization laws,
Mhm.
it's pathetic to say the least. Because I've always talked about this. It's like you raped 2 women. So you're literally getting 4 years for each woman that you raped of jail time. Where the act that you committed is is a very it's a very wicked offense. And you're only getting 4 years for each woman. Those women are scarred for life. Their
Mhm.
life will never be the same for as long as they live based on this one act.
Mhm.
And the governments in the UK believe that an 8-year sentence is just fine. But if somebody gets caught with drugs, they have the potentiality, just like here, to be jailed for 3 times that number
Mhm.
for having a small chemical substance in their pocket. But this deviant committed rape. And it's like, why are we even talking about before they transitioned? When they committed the rape, they were still a man. So they should be tried as a man and leave it at that. Not be put in a woman's prison, which we'll get to in just a moment.
Mhm.
Isla Bryson was convicted last month of raping 2 women, one in Clydebank in 2016 and one in Glasgow in 2019. While still a man known as Adam Graham, because that's who we're dealing with here, The case sparked a debate over the transgender prisoners after Bryson was initially remanded in Scotland. All female, what does this say? All female
Corntonville Prison.
Cortonville prison. It prompted concerns from politicians and campaigners about the safety of women held alongside a transgender sex offender in a female jail. See, this is how Satan works. It's like just because now we have to call it by this T word with the ending being gender, all of a sudden it changes everything. We have to deal with this person differently now. But it's the same person. It's this Adam Graham. But now Adam Graham, because he transitioned, now is getting put in a woman's prison. And who how do we even know? Because a lot of times this whole transitioning thing is very flaky. It's very like fugazi. Because transitioning doesn't always mean that you cut the privates off.
Mm-hmm.
Transitioning can mean that you did everything else but that.
Mm-hmm.
Or it can also mean you did that plus you cut it off and did the inverted skin tissue graft, synthetic, prosthetic, whatever, which
Mm-hmm.
considers you to be a woman officially, a whole woman now.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless of the fact, when this person committed this crime, they were still a man. So why is it changing for them? Why do we have a system of rules that not only cater to these types of people, but also gives them benefits for what this for once was considered across the board, across countries, as a psychological defect, as a psychological disorder, as like a really deep psychological disorder that needs a lot of heavy therapy. Just about the same amount of therapy as they take for drugs to keep that synthetic body in its state to be able to function. Because this is also a fact that these people have to be induced with drugs and hormones on a consistent basis for the rest of their life. No different than somebody who has diabetes and has to inject themselves with insulin every single day
Mm.
in order to keep it together and
So,
not die.
so instead of eating bad for 30 years and then becoming a pharma customer for life, I can at a whim at any age and probably on a profit oriented sight line, the younger the better, and be a customer for life. That's interesting. That's
Very interesting.
really interesting. You know what? I found another article on that, and I'd like to share it because it has a little bit more information that I think you'd like to see.
Yep. Shout outs to brother Josiah, by the way. He's tuning in on Spreaker.
Hey, bro, Most High Christ bless. Yeah. So
Go ahead, brother.
can I share that right quick?
Yeah, let me
Okay.
take my screen off here. All right, you good to go.
And where are we at here? There we go. Okay, so it should be coming up there soon.
So you want to share it to the screen because
yeah,
it's not popping up.
yeah, I did. Let's see. I'll try it again. I'm still a newbie at this type of stuff.
Okay.
So let's try it again.
You see if you could scroll up top to the right and share it to the big screen because that's what I have it right now.
Okay. It's there. Let's see. It's not in. Did you give me permission to share it or?
I don't have to on this one. This is not like Zoom.
Okay. Oh, okay. I thought StreamYard was, but it's in the queue. It's just the only option I have is to stop it. But it's in
Yeah,
there.
because
Yeah.
it's not showing on mine. You should be able to put it on your own though.
Yeah, I can't. But I mean
All right.
it's in the queue. I did a show with another brother on StreamYard and he had to give me permissions. I don't know what's going on. I have to stop it again and then go through
Are you
to
going to share screen?
yes. Yep.
Okay.
There we go. I click share and it's not coming up here. It's only in the queue down at the bottom underneath our screen. So
Yeah. I
I
don't know
don't
what's
know.
going on there.
Okay. Well, I'll just read it. Um
Let me see something.
mhm.
Let me see if I could do something. There we go.
Okay, yeah. So
All
I'm
right.
gonna scroll up. This is the Telegraph, UK. Trans rapist Isla Bryson told you are not the victim before being jailed for 8 years. So, and then I wanted to make a comment about this. I thought the hair over the face thing went out when Aaliyah passed, but I guess some people hold on to stuff. But here's the thing about this. A judge told the transgender rapist Isla Bryan that now see, we don't want to misgender they by calling her a she, even though they transitioned. So, I mean, a lot of times this stuff can stoke confusion, but they were not the victim in this situation as the 31-year-old was jailed for 8 years. Bryson, who committed the attacks while still known as Adam Graham, was sentenced at the High Court in Edinburgh on Tuesday morning. And one of the things about this is there was a skit Paul Mooney did where he was like, if a certain person of another race, not of our race, committed a crime, like 2 or 3 murders, and then they had him in court, and it was like, well, I'm 8 different personalities. Paul Mooney said, yeah, they would say, oh, well, let's take and study him, because this is, but if a black man did it and then went to court and was like, yeah, I'm 8 different personalities, they would be like, okay, well, pick which one of them personalities is going to die because you about to go to the chair. Or, it's just interesting how some people can do this and some people can't. But I want to read on. Lord Scott, who is the judge, said that while he had access to medical reports which suggested Bryson was vulnerable, in part due to traumatic childhood events, this was no excuse for raping 2 women who had been systematically targeted. So he went about establishing an MO, a method of operation, a modus operandi, as it's known to the police, to hunt these women down. So he systematically abused them. But they see that this person is the victim. Okay. They claimed, Bryson claimed during the trial that they had known they were transgender at age 4, although this was later questioned by their wife and mother, who both said they had shown no interest in transitioning. Bryson only began living as a woman after being charged with rape because he knew he was going to jail and he still wanted to be around women and be
Wow.
able to get them instead of being in a man's jail where they were like, oh, you like to rape people? This is how it feels. So, and the thing, the reason I'm reading this part is because I just want to bring out that when politicians whose lifestyle is being chauffeured around and doted upon by lobbyists, and they're passing these broad general laws, they don't understand that there's always room for people to take advantage. I'm not saying this person is taking advantage, but there have been pretty clear-cut examples of people taking advantage and doing a switch right before they go to jail, even actually going to jail, then saying, "Oh, the male jail was too rough. I'm going to transfer to a woman's jail where I can be, king of the hill, so to speak." And then, so they start claiming that they're a they or a woman. And then when they get transferred, all of these women end up pregnant by this they, and it's just when they make these laws talking about equity, they provide ignorantly a large space for people to take advantage. So that's why I wanted to pull this up, this one, because it went a little more into it. I don't know if you had anything on this or you wanted me to read any further.
No, I mean, I don't got to give this heathen, this deviant heathen, any more attention.
Okay.
But you see how the deception. You know where the real travesty, the real crime here. Forget the fact that that rape is one of the most horrible things you can do. Let's put that to the
Mhm.
side.
Mhm.
So let's put aside that
Mhm.
he's manipulating this whole situation to get out of a situation that's going to be really bad for him.
Mhm.
It's the system that's supporting this. I've seen this in court where kids, not too long ago, in the state of New Jersey, we're talking about 3 or 4 years ago, where all the judges and the
Mm.
attorneys are identifying these children as the opposite sex. Like it's normal. It's like it's literally something that switched overnight. That's how you know there's witchcraft involved here.
Mhm.
There has to be. Because this is a demonic agenda. This goes
Mhm.
beyond man. This is a spiritual thing. This is what you call spiritual disrespect against the most high. Blatantly.
Mhm. Mhm.
And just by me talking like this, I'm considered a problem because I'm voicing my opinion, which is my freedom of speech to voice my opinion. I'm not saying that this is a fact, but we all know what it really is.
Mhm.
And the only reason I'm talking like this is because of the networks that we're on
Yeah.
that support this type of behavior.
Mhm. And
And
go ahead.
go ahead, brother.
No, I was just going to say it's really wrong when you look at the freedom of speech issue because the internet service providers lease the internet frequencies from the government, and then the platforms are on that leased permitted internet that the government gives permission for them to use. So then since they're on the government's internet platform, they should actually uphold the freedom of speech that the government says they uphold. But I think there's a disconnect there. And then, people aren't really looking at that or demanding that, and then that's why we have to use certain terminology to keep from getting slapped on our wrist.
Absolutely, I agree. All right, so since we're on the sins of synthetic people,
Mm-hmm.
let's go to this next article.
Uh-oh.
All right, so let me pull this up here, and
Keep it G
share
rated
my
now.
screen. Keep it G-rated. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try my best. But remember, my podcast, we can it has the explicit button on it, so it's already
Oh,
set to.
okay.
So if you let off a shit, you know, or
Okay.
mother effer, doesn't matter. Um, let's share this screen. Now, this is an interesting article that I came across, and Make sure I have the right one.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is it. So this one, no, you know what? Let's change this. This is where transgender persons to be given jobs in police. I don't want that one right now. Let's X out of here. And the only reason I say that is because there's a much more
Mm-hmm.
interesting article than this one.
Mm-hmm.
And this is in regards to hormone treatment. Yeah, this is the one I really want. Okay. So it says Biden administration pushes transgender medical care while quietly bankrolling research showing its risk.
Oh my
Oh boy, you
goodness.
can't make this up. Can't make this
Mm-mm.
up, brother.
And,
And
this is highly interesting, and I like what you do because you go into pulling the curtain back from the narrative so you can see the madness that's going on backstage behind the curtain.
right.
And a
See,
lot of people don't even notice.
what I let my listeners know from day one, when I was told that I was going to be a messenger by the Most High revealed to me that I was going to be a messenger at 18 years old. It wasn't until um, the realization of it really came in my 40s.
Mhm.
And the whole purpose of the network of awareness is to reveal the lie, show the lie for what it is, because the way it was revealed to me, as far as how I was going to be a messenger and bringing out this truth of the Most High, that's all throughout the scriptures, is that I've been given this ability to expose Satan and all of Satan's legacy of lies. So
Mhm.
that way you can better understand the truth. Because what happens is a lot of people, they've embraced the lie so much that they believe the lie to be true. Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20. They
Mhm.
accepted the darkness for the light and the light for the darkness. And I always felt like, or should I say, the way it was revealed to me, I felt like this is the best way I can do it is to expose Satan's lies so we can better understand the Most High's truths.
Mhm. Mhm.
And because most people, if they can't get beyond the lie, they'll never understand the truth. So it says here, as the Biden administration pushes the Department of Health and Human Services to make gender affirming healthcare more widely available, HSS own National Institute of Health is funding multiple studies premised upon how little research has been conducted on the long term risk of taking cross sex hormones and whether they improve mental health. And NIH research on transgender issues also emphasizes intersectionality, and about half has been on H. Uh, give me 1 second, because
Mhm.
what does it say? HIV prevention.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have this damn line in my computer real quick.
Mhm.
Um, the NIH reporter database, which lists active federally funded research projects, shows 74 with transgender in the title, totaling more than 26 million of taxpayers' money annually. Several NIH funded studies examine specific health risks of cross sex hormone treatment, such as associated bone loss and possible increased risk of thrombosis and drug overdose, heart attack,
Mm.
and stroke. Now, there's a lot of facts to this based on what I've been told on what's going on in the Bronx right now. And I've had this told to me about 2 years ago.
Mm.
And shout outs to my brother Lincoln, and he told me a story. He said we were talking about transgenderism, and he said, "Bro, you know how many transgenders are out here right now? There's a lot." And he said, "You know what they do all day?" He said they get high off the government funded money that they're giving. You know, basically their welfare checks
Mm-hmm.
for just
Mm-hmm.
being transgender.
Mm-hmm.
And they just get high and they fall asleep on the staircases of the subways and whatnot. And people throw bottle cans and bottle caps and cans at them and all types of stuff. So you have 26 million going to people being high, sitting on a step, on a sidewalk. Well, that 26 million can be given to the homeless so they don't have to sleep on a sidewalk. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, and it's way more money than 26 million. Let me make that very clear. This is just a portion of what goes to the funding when it comes to these types of synthetic people. Now, something that I've seen on multiple documentaries from transgenders themselves is that many of them wind up committing suicide within a 1 to 5 year period after transitioning.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm assuming they have a coming to Christ moment and be like, what the hell did I just do? And let's not even talk about that when they do pass or when they do commit that suicide, what happens on the other side?
Mm-mm-mm.
And what I'm saying about the other side, we're talking about judgment. We're talking about the spirit realm. Because a lot of these people that are doing this, and I've had conversations with several, they know something ain't right, but they don't care. They have a system now. They have a way to entertain this and to have this be supported. So they're like, hey, why not? There's people that are doing what that Isla did. In just like I'm talking about like the brothers that are literally saying that they're homosexual or transgender so they could keep their jobs. Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
And that was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Their brothers started doing that. Started saying, oh, I identify as this, I identify that, because they were going to get let go. But once you put that title on yourself, boy, are you considered what's the word I'm looking for? You're too risky to fire now
Mm-hmm.
because of the backlash and the lawsuits that could be pending from that action.
Mm-hmm.
So the deception goes deep. It trickles. It has a trickle down effect to just it's no different from Caca 19 and how that's been manipulated in so many different aspects of our society and daily life when it comes to our institutions and how they function. When you're in this boat, in this position,
Mm-hmm.
that's like me right now. I could be like, hey, tomorrow I'd be like, you know what? I feel like a woman. I feel like I've been a woman all my life and I'm just realizing it now. And I could go and take a step-by-step process to make that happen. Legally. Call myself Regina.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna continue reading this article, right?
Yeah.
If you want to chime in, just let me know.
Yeah, no, you was about to go down a black hole. Keep going, because I'm looking for something here. Because you said the cross-sex hormones. I'm looking at something for that because I'm trying to find something. I just can't remember where it was. So go ahead.
Let me finish something too here because you just reminded me that I was going down the dark hole, right? The black hole.
Mm-hmm.
So I've met transgenders that I was actually interviewing for jobs,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't go any further than that. All praises for that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that told me that they couldn't wait 3 months to have their insurance kick in after their
Mm-hmm.
probationary period was over, because in those 3 months, if they don't take the medications or the drugs that they have to take, they will die. They
Mm-hmm.
will die.
Yeah. I know of a case like that where an acquaintance of mine was transitioning, and they were working at like a small cafe, and it was a decent wage, and the owner of the cafe had health insurance for everybody. So when the person started transitioning, all of a sudden the cost of the insurance for that small, I think it was maybe 15 people business, like, went up by a factor of 8 or 10.
Right.
And the 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 guy, the owner, came to the person and was like, "Listen, I don't know how to explain this. You're one of my best workers, but I can't keep you here because I'll be forced to close in like 6 months
Wow.
because it's going to cost so much. I have your health insurance. Everybody's health insurance is included in as part of their pay package. But this is going to go up so much right now and increase monthly to a point where it's like I won't be able to stay open. I'm going to have to take everybody's health insurance away. You know, I could pay them more per hour, but they won't have health insurance because I can't afford this because just what they're charging me just for what you're doing. I think he says something like it was the part they were charging him was like $10,000 a month, and it was set to increase. And this was like 4 years ago or 5 years
Right.
ago this was going on. So he's like, "Listen, I'm sorry, but I have to lay you off. I mean, I can't." The guy was telling me the owner sat him down and showed him the paperwork. It's like, "Listen, I'm not, I'm not against you. I'm not, this is just what it is. It's no feelings, it's no emotions in this." But see, that's one of the effects. They're making so much money off of this. If they can convince you to go through with this, they will make a fortune off of people using these drugs and these therapies.
Now, let's continue with this article, because this article is
Mhm.
going to bring out a lot of really informative and high quality information in the understanding of this situation called transgenderism.
Mhm.
Only a few studies evaluate the risk of infertility, even though the impact of long term cross sex hormone therapy on reproductive health is largely unknown. As one such project states, and experts have warned, in contrast, 7 studies examine stigma and disparities in healthcare for transgender people in response to the NIH notice of special interest in understanding the role of alleged intersectional stigmas and how they harm health. Many studies address higher incidences of sexually transmitted infections in transgender people and whether hormone therapy might increase that risk.
Mm, mm, mm.
About half of the NIH funded research on transgender health, including that which has been completed, relates to HIV prevention amongst the transgender population, totaling approximately 80 million since 1985.
Mm, mm, mm.
Fun fact: Transgender males have some of the highest concentrated HIV epidemics in the world, with a pooled global prevalence of 19% and a 49-fold higher odds ratio of acquiring HIV than non-transgender adults, according to On Project Summary. Behavioral factors contribute, another project says, but the role of sex hormones needs further study, since they are known to modulate the immune response, resulting in changes in host susceptibility to pathogens, vaccine efficacy, and drug metabolism. Woo!
A double customer. A double customer. Because there's some of these hormones cause a myocarditis risk. And so they're creating customers. And I'm just going to quote this. They came out with a study that said 71% of people of the age to serve in the military are ineligible and unfit. So who are they going to go to? You identifying as a they, or you want equal rights? You will get they rear end up over there behind that hill and take this gun with you, because the men are unfit. So what are they going to go do if we have to go on another incursion or defend this country from somewhere? There's not enough people there's not enough men that are fit for service. So they're going to go to the other gender pools. So on top of all these other dangers, and you have to be on this battlefield and have to have a constant supply of this medication or you're going to die, right? Okay. I don't know.
Before we
Bro.
continue with the article, I want to give a shout out to Sister Nama. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, shalom
to you, sister, as well. And shout outs to everybody tuning into the live broadcast. Of course, download the show if you don't get to catch the live. And remember, I talked about the whole suicide thing, right?
Yes.
So now, this article is going to touch on that. And by the way, this is the Federalist. So it says, many ongoing projects highlight lack of research. While suicide prevention is often cited as a major reason to give dysphoric children puberty blockers. I'm going to read that one again. While suicide prevention is often cited as a major reason to give dysphoric children puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones, only one of the current studies is focused specifically on suicide risk, although several emphasize the lack of long-term studies of cross-sex hormones administered to children and their relation to mental health. Put it like this. The fact that the child is even thinking in this manner is their mental health is at risk, and that they need therapy, they need help, they need care, they need somebody to talk to, they need counsel. Why do you feel like this? Let's discuss that. Where is this coming from? Let's dig into that. Let's spend all that $26 million or $80 million in the past whatever years on that. And then we can start considering what drugs to take and all this other stuff, all this other nonsense. Says medical professionals say more specific research is needed to determine whether medically transitioning as a minor reduces suicidal thoughts.
It does not.
And suicides compared with those who socially transition or wait before starting treatment, according to Reuters.
Hmm.
This is not coming from me.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
coming from people that do very extensive research.
Yeah. Okay. You know, statistics are in the eye of the presenter, just like they say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Statistics are in the eye of the presenter because you can always manipulate statistics to prove, you know, whatever point that you want to make, just like they do it in education where you have a fail in school, but you know, everybody thinks the school is passing. I mean, it happened in the city of Atlanta. They were fudging the numbers so much that when they got found out, every principal, assistant principal, teacher, guidance counselor got fired and had to re-interview for their job because they manipulated the statistics so bad. So
I.e., cuckoo for
the
corona
cocoa.
puffs.
Yeah. Well, you know, when I was talking with the acquaintance I mentioned earlier about 4 or 5 years ago, you know, they were telling me, and I don't know if they were a they, I'm just saying they were telling me. I, I haven't seen them in a while. Him, her, that the person in a while. But
We could call them,
they,
we can abbreviate their name. We could call them the Sins.
yeah, but you know, I approached them. I was like, listen, this is how it is. This is what the Lord said. If you believe, you believe. You don't, you don't. But you know, this is what the Bible says. So, you know, and they actually told me I've never heard it or had it explained to me like that before. There was always, you know, somebody coming at me with fire and brimstone and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's not what Christ is about. You know, you take it, you give people the word, and then you let them make their own decisions, you know. But they told me, as for the amount of suicide in that community relative to the number of people in that community is the highest of any other ideological or uh, racial or male female group, because they did suicides by like male, female, black, white, you know, Asian, Hispanic, non-European, whatever, you know what I mean? And then they did like, you know, transitioning or transsexual, or you know, um, different groups. And the transgender community had the highest percentage of suicides relative to the total amount of people in that community. And it was like, it's insane. And, you know, I didn't even know, you know, because the way they presented on TV and in the media, oh, it's blissful and it's no struggle. You know, it's so paradisical. You know, and everything's gonna be good. There's gonna be rainbows and birds chirping and kids playing nicely in the playground in the park behind you. And it's not that way, you know. And like I said, you're pulling back the curtain, you know, and that's a good thing for people to check out. So giving all praises.
All praises. Um, let's go back to this article,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to go to another one. I think we've pretty much know what that's all about,
Mm-hmm.
because it keeps going. It keeps going.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
and I mean literally, it just keeps going. Like all of this stuff that shows that none of this stuff is really has been approved by man to say, hey, this is safe from just a biological level, as
Mm-hmm.
far as the human anatomy goes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because a lot of these people, if you've seen them on social media, usually they're very irate. It's almost like what they call roid rage. A lot of them have this type of symptom of roid rage
Mm-hmm.
because of the chemical imbalance within their brains from the what I call the chemical distortion within the body that's creating this chemical imbalance to leave them unbalanced as a human being, as a spiritual being having a physical experience. Their reality is distorted. So
Mm-hmm.
their mind and their health becomes distorted. It is it's what you call a schism. They're a living, breathing schism to the
Mm-hmm.
reality that they're living.
Hyperbole.
So you take a
Mm-hmm.
schism and you mix it with an abomination, and you have something completely that's just, I don't even, there's not even it's ineffable to me. It's like there's no words to describe this,
Mm-hmm.
how twisted it is and upside down it is. But who represents that reciprocal that always likes to take something pure, something that the Most High creates, and then switch it and turn it upside down and give you the reciprocal of it? Satan.
Mm-hmm.
That's who.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just keep it real. And this is just my opinion. But a lot of these people, when you look at them and you look into their eyes, you can see that things that it's like, in my opinion, sometimes like it's, you could see the demons. You can see the demon in the glare in their eye. And it's not just one, it's a legion. Especially when they go ape shit. You ever seen some of them go ape shit at some of these parades against protesters? Their eyes get all bulgy and they're like, "Ugh!"
Mm-hmm.
Or like the famous one that we all talked about in the past. The one at the what's that video game store?
Oh, call me ma'am.
Yes.
At GameStop.
GameStop. I'm a man. And me and Oxakawa, we was talking about it. And I was talking about it with other brothers. I think I talked about it with Take Two. Yo, the dude was so diesel that the jeans that they were wearing, you could see the definition of muscle within their calves in the jeans.
Mm-hmm.
And the joke
Yeah.
was like, oh, that's a linebacker for the San Francisco 49ers.
And just for the audience, so that they're caught up, I do have it pulled up if you wanted to play. I went and found it that quick.
Oh, you have the video that you was talking about?
No, the GameStop.
Oh, go ahead. Let's do it.
Okay.
This
So
is
let's
real.
see. Yeah, let's keep it. We're not just, reaching in the back behind the chair and stuff and pulling stuff up off the floor or nothing. You know?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So okay, it's there. And okay. Hopefully I don't know if the audio is gonna play or not, but let's see.
It should.
We're not doing credit. You're gonna give me money back.
Excuse me, sir. There's a young man in here.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
I can call the police. You need to settle down.
You need to settle down and mind your business, okay?
Oh, he went
Once
Karen.
again, ma'am.
I said both of you.
No, you said sir. Once again, it's ma'am.
I actually said both of you guys. It was general.
Right beforehand, you said sir.
Sir? Okay.
Take it outside. If you want to call me sir again, I will show you, sir.
I apologize.
Yeah, it's gonna be easy to show us, sir.
Wow.
Yeah, you beating stuff up like a sir.
I need your corporate number because I'm going to call them and talk about how it's misgendered several times in this store.
Misgendered.
Corporate number now. Get it for me now.
So is that
And let me say
Karen?
something about, can you pause it?
I'm gonna ask you for the
I just want to make a
fifth
quick
time,
comment
stop
about
calling me a
this.
man.
I want to tell you how
Because I clearly
twisted
am not.
the
Uh,
United
Sorry for that, ma'am.
Shenanigans of America is.
Okay.
Yes,
hold
get it
on.
for me now.
Let me see.
Get it
Okay.
for me now.
I'm trying to hold on. Let me see. I can't stop it, bro. I'm trying to stop it.
Okay.
Yeah, my apologies.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Okay, there. I'm sorry. Let's go back. Yeah,
Let's
sorry.
go back a little bit. So he
Mhm.
said he was misgendered, right?
Yeah.
So that's obviously a man. Like it don't take a rocket scientist to figure that one out.
Mhm.
All right. Just because you wear a pink blouse with some pink sneakers and some tight jeans, wear some earrings with some mascara doesn't make you a woman. Okay. But what is so disappointing about this country, especially, and why this country is so wicky wacky, why I call it the United Shenanigans of America, better known as the United Serpents of America, is because we've had an issue with this illusion that Satan's created called racism. And we've had melanated brothers and sisters here based on their skin complexion be called niggers and spics, amongst other things. But yet, somebody like this now has implemented in law that, or they have these rights that are implemented within constitutional law here in this country, that if you misgender them, you could be held accountable for that. But yet they can't get this thing called racism and get our brothers and sisters' rights protected. But yet you could protect somebody who has a psychological disorder. And you can even be imprisoned by calling somebody the F word. And it rhymes with maggot. You can go to jail for that. You could lose your job. I was dating this woman 5 years ago. School teacher. On our first couple of days, she revealed to me that if she doesn't call this 12-year-old girl in the school that she teaches, in the middle school, by them, she'll lose her job. And she won't just lose her job. She'll lose her career. She won't get a job nowhere else. This is the insanity. This is why I have to expose this, because these are the true crimes. This is where the error is. To manipulate people to think that this is not even just normal, but that if this is righteous, because it's far from it. It's an abomination. Go ahead, play that video again.
Okay.
Let's watch it through and through.
Okay.
Settle down and mind your business.
Oh, please, if you'd like me to, you need to settle down.
You need to settle down and mind your business.
Yo, so
aggressive.
You need to settle down.
So check this out. Is this a Karen or a Kevin?
Marin. This is a Marin.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You need to settle down and mind your business. Okay? Ma'am. Once again, ma'am.
I said both of you.
No, you said sir. Once again, it's ma'am.
I actually said both of you guys. It was general.
Right beforehand, you said sir.
Sir? Okay.
Sister, you got some.
Take it outside. If you want to call me sir again, I will show you, sir.
I apologize.
So I'm a man, but I'll show you a sir. And Sir Sam, Murr, whatever. You have some very hairy arms. You should pull your sleeves down.
I apologize now.
Damn, you heard that thump?
Yeah.
I need your corporate number.
You know, that sounded like a kick from at least a size 11. Let's look at the feet. Let's look at the feet
Yeah,
here.
play it, bro. Just play it, bro. We'll be here all day with this.
Yeah, man. That's a size 12, 12 and a half.
I
bro.
need your corporate number because I'm going to call them and talk about how it's misgendered several times in this store.
I apologize.
I need your corporate number
Them feet,
now.
man. Them man feet, bro.
Get it for me now.
I'm going to ask you to calm down and stop cussing.
Give me your
Stop
corporate
hitting
number.
bitches on property.
Well, I'm going to ask you for the 5th time to stop calling me a man because quite clearly I am not.
And I apologize. I'm sorry for that, ma'am. I will get you that number.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm
get it
just
for me
asking-
now.
I'm asking you to stop
Get it
cussing.
for me now. I'm not cussing. I'm not cussing.
Okay.
Get me the damn number now, please. Ooh.
Oh, he.
Ma'am, I apologize.
Ooh.
I apologize. I will get you that number right now.
The man been working out.
No, you're just gonna
Said, please.
you're going to disrespecting trans people,
Marin.
which I plan on telling the entire LGBTQ community. You're going over this.
Gonna tell the whole alphabet gang.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna get the alphabet gang out here.
Yeah.
Rainbow click. What?
Yeah. Well, I hope Dave Chappelle can help them or somebody. I don't know. Dave Chappelle or Bill Burr, because they seem like the only two people that are uncancelable right about now. But we'll see. You know.
Let's play the United Shenanigans anthem. Marins terrorizing at a GameStop near you.
You know what, bro? The thing is, and this is what the narrative comes out as, that you get violent and you protest and yeah, I got a right to be hostile. My people being persecuted. You know, this whole thing is very ineffective. It's very emotional driven. It's very narrative fed to the sheeple driven. The right way to protest is, okay, I'll take it. And then I'll go out in the parking lot, go on my phone, find GameStop corporate, contact them, let them know what happened, and then post something on social media or call their, I don't know, do they say my friends? I don't know. But, get in contact with your people and hit them as a community. All right. But people protest, they tear down the place, the neighborhoods where they live, they tear down the stores where they go to, and then want somebody to come and rebuild the stores and to provide aid money and all, give me this and give me that. That's not how you do it. You have to hit it like politically and economically if you want some lasting change, but that's not the narrative that's fed to people. So they're not going to approach it in the right way, and they're going to end up going viral like this man or like that person. I'm confused. I'm sorry. I'm a cisgendered caveman. I apologize.
Let's take it outside.
And I'll show you what a man is. But how can you show me what a man is?
I'll show you a ma'am.
But dude, how can you show me what a man is outside when you are a ma'am?
Or Marin. Remember, they're Marins.
Okay, God. I'm confused. I'm confused. I mean, we dissected frogs in 4th grade biology, and we had to all that stuff. So I'm just a cisgendered caveman. I'm sorry.
Let's pick this other article up. Let's talk about transgenders person being given jobs in the police department. Let's talk about that real quick.
And that's what happens when you don't have enough. That's with that. I don't know if you're going to have a show coming up about Tyree Nichols, but they weren't paying people enough, and the qualified people were going elsewhere. So they lowered their standards, and they got people in that ended up doing that. So now they're basically, and we know, and you've talked about the physical and mental effects of these drugs. So when they go to hire these people, and not anything against them, but it's the medications that they're under, this could have bad effects, especially in brown and black communities. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
this
is just this is spiritual warfare, brother, in its purest form.
Mm-hmm.
Spiritual warfare.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it says Lahore Inspector General Police Punjab Dr. Usman Anwar said the protection sentries are being established in all districts of the province to provide legal and social protection to the members of the transgender community. Likewise, Digat Shan Yunus will work as project head for establishing the project and making them functional throughout the province. Dr. Usman Anwar expressed these views while expressing his views in a discussion session titled Protection of Transgender Community Rights at the Central Police Office on Monday. Organizations working to protect the rights of transgender community, civil society workers, and transgender people participated in the session and expressed their views. Dr. Usman Anwar said that the transgender people would be given priority in jobs on special quota in police offices, while no effort will be spared to solve economic exploitation of transgender people.
Hold on,
Aji Punjab. Go ahead.
bro. How does the police solve economic exploitation of transgender people? I mean, that there are not pimps, as far as I know. I may be wrong, but there are not pimps putting transgender people out on the stroll and economically exploiting them like they are some of our younger black sisters and brown sisters. So I don't understand how the police could work. Are the police going to be giving people free money? What's going on? I'm just asking a question. I don't know. I don't understand. I want to get an understanding here.
Oh, we're going to get a great understanding from this article on how they handle these situations. It says Ajin Punjab said the members of the transgender community would be provided complete awareness and guidance regarding all their problems in the protection centers. He said that self respect of the transgender community will be ensured and coordination will be improved with other private institutions, including TEFTA, TEVTA, Labor Department, to make them productive and skilled citizens of the society. Aji Punjab said that the members of transgender community deserve special. Oh, so they special. You special. Special attention and treatment to the sense of deprivation and fear found in them can be removed to the extent possible. Speaking at the event, Professor of Psychology Saeed Malik said that the members of the transgender community have to face sexist behavior, firstly, in the homes. When parents find out about the gender of their child, they consider it a burden and leave them helpless. This
Huh?
behavior leads to psychological murder of these children, from which they sink into the mere of deprivation and misery. Mm-mm-mm. Wow.
Oh, snap.
Martyr.
Like
Sound
that
like I
doesn't
smell martyr in the air.
like that doesn't happen to cisgendered kids as well.
I can't even believe you just said that, bro.
I know.
Cisgender. Dude, that's what we're now using the word cisgender to identify ourselves.
Well, I
Oh,
mean,
you cis. I remember the first time I was called
uh,
cisgender. I was like, what? I'm not a
wait a
cis.
minute,
I'm a
bro.
man.
Yeah, yo, and I just want to point out too that when you just said you to me, I identify as a they, and I'm just having this epiphany. I'd really rather you refer to me when you talk to me instead of saying you, just say they.
I'd rather you refer to me as the honorable aura, the informationalist.
Okay, so listen, brother, honorable, or
Or the
the
informationalist
informationist. Actually,
of the highest degree.
this understanding, or the honorable, or the informationalist of the highest degree, this understanding actually came out a long time ago on the Boondocks
Oh yeah.
when a,
Boondocks is one of the best cartoons ever.
yeah, when a pimp named Slickback said, granddad kept calling him Slickback, and he was like, no,
Right.
my name is a pimp named Slickback, and when you refer to me, you will not say he, you will say a pimp named Slickback. So so and I'm not laughing, I'm actually coughing, because this is a lot for me to get out all at once, because I'm just so happy that my understanding is being opened on how to deal with this. So the Boondocks, referring back to that actually helps me understand. And I'm so glad that I came on this show with you. I mean, with Aura,
The honorable.
the honorable
Let's get it
Aura,
right.
the honorable Aura, the informationalist to the highest degree.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. The honorable Aura, the informationalist.
Can I get corporate's number?
Uh,
I'm about to report you.
I've not sure what corporate identifies as. So me to get their contact information, I'd have to get back to you, the honorable or the informationalist of the highest degree. Okay.
I know we being comical right now.
I was dead serious. What are you, dude? Don't take identification as a joke. This is serious.
All right. My apologies.
Okay.
If this continues to persist for the next 10 to 20 years, bro, if we even make it that far, and when I say we, I'm talking about the United Shenanigans of America, what is this place going to look like, bro? Because, a lot of these synthetics, these sins, they're working at your local, they all work the graveyard shift. A lot of them working the graveyard shifts at the 7-Elevens, at the your Sunoco's, your Hess, your overnight 24/7 local gas stations / mini marts.
Mm-hmm.
They're flooded with them all throughout Florida. There's one up here in St. Pete that works at the what is it called? I think it's a Speedway. Diesel ass hands. Look like they used to box. And then they got nails, just like in the artwork that I got for the podcast. They got beautiful red color nails, the ones that are pointed and studded.
Mm.
And they got long hair with a diesel ass neck and some very broad shoulders, broader than mine. And I'm just like, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. But this is a perversion, brother, that goes back to the days of antiquity. Can you say Sodom and Gomorrah? Because this existed during Sodom and Gomorrah days.
Mm-hmm.
Enough with this article because I think we covered it enough. There's one more, and then we'll play some music that I'm gonna bring out here. And let me do that real quick. And this is in regards to how kids are treated at the schools. Okay? So check this out. This is going to be interesting. So this pretty much says that, and let's make it a little bigger here for the people that are watching. Shout outs to everybody that's watching on YouTube, Twitter, and listening on Spreaker. We're live in 3 different channels simultaneously.
Mm-hmm. All praises. Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's go to this real quick. The UOFL, okay, is addressing incidences where transgender students were mistreated. University of Louisville, that's Louisville, Kentucky, releases statements addressing mistreatment of transfer students. University officials have met with the impacted students and student leadership of UOFL. Is proud to be recognized as an LGBTQ friendly university. It is disheartening to hear some members of our community feeling unsafe or unwelcome on our campuses. Oh, what's the travesty? The travesty.
Mm.
So let's check out this one article right here. This is from the WLKY. This is a local network. And let's play this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Rotor. Let's go.
Mm.
Wow.
What? It's not playing?
Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
This thing with the damn commercials. Gotta get that
Mm.
out of here.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so that was pretty much it. You know, I'm glad they had a video because it could sum it up a lot faster than us reading it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, there's other articles, but that was pretty much, you know, that was the meat and potatoes, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
oh man, like why? Why cater to these people? Why do they need special treatment? Why are they more important and have to have more attention than any other boy or girl that identifies as a boy or girl or as a man or woman? Doesn't make any sense, but yet it does. This is that spiritual warfare. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something to be very aware of because it's only going to get worse. Because guess what? There's more laws being passed as we are doing this broadcast. There's more funding under this. Listen, this Biden administration, what they've been able to do in these past 3 years, brother, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The level of wickedness that has been able to be put into legislation and passed, it's astounding, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you want to say before we take a music break?
Um, you said it's spiritual warfare, and we have to understand that it is a spirit. It is a mindset that you give yourself over in to obey or to justify once you have been defeated by it, by that evil spirit. And what it goes into is, because for a lot of people, it's just love and it's self expression, but they don't really understand that behind the curtain of this beautiful, peaceful coming out and being who you are convinced you really are, behind that, it is a religion. It is a Luciferian based religion with different rituals and stuff like that, which include the changing and merging of the sexes. But it is a religion for those that promote it heavily and those that control it and those that are behind it. And they run this church, this doctrine, and they need lay people, just like usually every religion has lay people and enlightened people. And this church needs lay people to join it. And that's why it's coming out like this. That was it.
Yeah. And shout outs to brother Ash out in the UK.
Hey, Shalom, Ash.
Brother Asha, shalom, brother. Most High Christ bless you. Um, Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 1 says, he that is wounded in the stones or hath his privy member cut off shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Most High ain't playing. He's making it real concise and clear and straight to the point. Like if you do this, this, and that, you're not welcomed.
Yeah.
You're an abomination.
Well, you know, that is true. But, you know, when Christ came and the Most High sent Christ, and both of them knowing that, as it was written in Deuteronomy 28, Deuteronomy 4, Leviticus 26, and elsewhere, that we would be destroyed, destructured. Christ went into how that even somebody that was in that condition could repent, you know. When Christ talked about how when, you know, some people make themselves eunuchs where they dedicate their life to something and they don't deal with women or having sex, period. Some people are born that way because of a defect or something, but some people are made eunuchs by men, like when they go into a philosophy where they think they're born that way and they're this and they're this and they get stuff altered. But, you know, everybody has a chance to come back. Now, that's not to say that if you are that way and you don't repent from that, you won't be destroyed in that day, you know. But there is a chance for everybody because we've all been damaged, some mentally, some physically, and some spiritually, some a combination, you know. But still in all, we're not here to trash anybody or make fun of anybody. We're here to warn people to get themselves right before the man upstairs comes back, you know. So that was it.
All right. So we're on season 5. I believe this is episode 65 or 4, one of those. I forget. But of season 5. Season 5 is all about great understanding, brothers and sisters. That's what this whole season's about. Great understandings. And the only way you can have a great understanding is through the word of the Most High. It's the only way you're going to have a great understanding of who you are. And then you're going to have a better understanding of, once you have a great understanding of who you are, of what you need to do with that greatness, which is walk in that light and the example of Christ, the Messiah, Yeshua, the Most High's heavenly Son. They came here to basically make a sacrifice for all of our wickedness and iniquities. So with that being said, brothers and sisters, you're tuned into the Network of Awareness. Let's take a brief music break. We're going to play some spiritual music, giving all praises to the Most High. And let's start it off with Brother Take One, because I got a Take One arsenal over here. This is one of my favorite songs. It's called Leave 'Em Alone, brothers and sisters. We'll be back.
You are now tuned in to the Network of Awareness.
Living for Yah, yeah, the righteous will. Do his will to the end, yeah, the righteous will. Keeping faith till the end, yeah, the righteous will. He that's righteous, let him stay righteous still. Only those with the ear will listen. Getting 1/3 is the only mission. If they don't want to listen, let a fool stay a fool. Pretty soon they gon' wish that they paid attention. Cause Yah's coming swiftly. Just around the corner you can hear gunshots popping off. People losing their wits be. Soon the USA, aka Babylon, will crash and fall. Much harder than the Twin Towers. 400 years of power, but it's Gentiles. Felt like eternity, but to Yah it was 10 hours. We about to get out of this island and sit power. 1/3 will prevail, 2/3 will get devoured.
For the longest time I've tried to wake up my folks, but
now I realize their eyes were meant to be closed. So I gotta leave them alone. I'm just saying, just leave them alone. You can't save them, you can't save the world. You just need to leave them alone. His soul has some good, I saw it in his eyes. He actually can cure when I spoke about Yah. For a second, I thought perhaps I could make a difference. You can show the horse the water, but you can't make him sip it. It's got me reminiscing when I first came into truth. Thought I was better than folks because of what I knew. But after refinement, trials, and maturity, I've realized that I'm no better than he or she. It doesn't matter how much knowledge you have, how much dollars you have. As long as you have Yah, everything will make sense. No need to get mad or pissed when the people you know hates the truth you spit. Cause the end is near. Yah's close and near. Adrenaline is rising high, citizens in fear. The truth isn't for everyone, no matter what you show. Just focus on Yah, he's the only way to go. For the longest time, I tried to wake up my folks, but now I realize their eyes were meant to be closed. So I gotta leave them alone. I'm just saying, just leave them alone. You can't save them, you can't save the world. You just need to leave them alone.
You are now tuned in to the network of awareness.
Down, 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 it goes all the way.
Shout outs to all my peoples out in NYC, my brothers and sisters in the Boogie Down Bronx.
It all goes left before it goes right, but that's life, so you know how it goes, right? Tell you I done been through the mud and the dark nights. Always had a flow, but I've been through the bar fights. Not a big dog, but I got a big bite. Always been fly, I've been known to take flight. Learned all my lessons, never make mistakes twice. Never dim my shine, cause I've always been bright. Always been nice with the hands, so I know how to break a nigga down. Just in case a nigga come around, I'm ready. Once you get a nigga mental in that zone, I'm deadly. That's why I prefer to be left alone. You can't really tame a beast that is meant to roam feast. As long as my heart beats like a metronome. Graduated from the streets with a cap and gown. Even I know what goes up will come crashing down. Down, 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 it all comes. Down, 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 it all comes. Down, 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 it goes all the way. It goes all the way. It goes all the way. Crashing down, crashing down.
Have you hated or ever been hated on? Watch how I debate this while I go and play the song. Am I wrong or am I right? While I'm writing, see it was written. Ha, I knocked him out like I was Tyson. Ain't no tie, son, I've been down, down. See, I've been spitting for a minute. I am different, I'm the one. They say I'm gifted. I just want the big money to go and match the lyrics. Ha, and then you crash, burn, feeling like life cheated you from your last turn. Feeling like I was a bad sperm from the ex, bugging with the heat, yeah, mash burn. They notice the way I talk. I think they really hate me because they know I'm from New York. I adolescent and caught. I swear I made it a sport. A Bronx nigga for sure. Spiraling down. I fuck out of here.
In the mix. In the mix. In the mix. In the mix. In the mix.
Down, 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 it all comes. Down, 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 it goes all the way. It goes all the way. It goes all the way. Crashing down, crashing down.
How you doing? How you doing?
Here we are back again, about to drop some facts again. Yahweh's word spreads like a vicious net for capturing those with an ear to listen, those who paid attention. Those who stand bold like a soldier with their convictions, not quick to fold or throw in the towel when under pressure. They walk it like they talk it, they live the message. But depression's what most folks are facing. They got the vaccination, we in zombie land. Pretty soon we gon' have to dance, better keep that sword in your body, fam. Cause this far from pain, Babylon will burn down in flames. Some deaths are better off real slow, so you can witness the pain. You tortured slaves, 400 plus years of pain. Hung brothers up in the trees, swinging for days and days. Now this is your end of days, you looking so disarrayed. Try to cover your ears, but the truth still gon' penetrate. The hatred is strong, but races still want to imitate and integrate. Only Yahweh's chosen holy nation can ever be this great.
Yahweh's amazing. Before I eat, I'm saying my graces. I pray for knowledge and wisdom and peace. We dwell in greatness. 144,000 frequencies and vibrations. So don't give me amp. Go take a hike and camp like concentrations. Pull up my pants and send my genes to elevate genetics. I'm concentrating, no recess to dominate recessives. No car insurance, the way I swerve, they be like impressive. Stephanie Courtney know my flow is looking more progressive. My aura is a network full of awareness and gifts like aura, the informationalist. Shout out my brother, take one. All these chances in life, don't hesitate and wait to take one. We are the true Jews, about to take off. Hit the nose, we don't play soft. I pull up and let like 8 off. Watch a demon hair splatter, give me back my platter that y'all just ate off.
Yo, remember what we talked about being something special as 1/3? I feel like we're finally here. A righteous Wall Street, bro. Yes, sir, let's get it.
All praise to the Most High. This is only the beginning. Yahweh. Righteously preparing, raising our awareness. The social engineering, just faithful but bearing. Salute to those faith in it, kings and queens creating it. That's people awakening. 2/3 keep forsaking him, 1/3 keeps on praising him. Putting all my faith in him. Those people be faking it, munching on some bacon bits. Ignorance remains in bliss. In this life I came to win. Righteousness I'm living in. Truth is the enlightenment. Yahweh's the embodiment of peace and redefinement. Elohim is in the science, go grown out for lions. Raising the horizons, frequency just heightens. Spirit always brightens, no fear can ever frighten. A man on the mission, living out his visions. True to the tradition, gaining all the wisdom. To be freed from the prison, transition with God's mercy. With the early worthy, realist, righteous visionaries. Too many people. This is my little trap beat, you know what I'm saying? First trap beat ever. I call it, hey, trap beat, let's go. Shout out to my brother DeFree out here in St. Petersburg, Florida. Stand up.
Nothing gonna stop me, finna hit them till they can't take it anymore. They gon' give us all the man. You's gon' rise up, sticking to the man. I'ma raise till I die, cause this is who I am. Get up out my way, I'm coming through with the squad. I could never lose cause I'm moving with God. Fight the power, Mr. Man, wanna ruin us all. But there's too many of us and we all true to the cause. Che Guevara in my starter, rage against the machine. Fight the power, take tomorrow back and wipe the slate clean. We ain't gon' cower to these cowards, we gon' stand for what's right. Get hype in this mug while we spreading the light. Where my soldiers at? Get it going, we gon' show them we ain't cheap. Yo, it's over, overthrow they ass. Let them know you mad, bring it to them right where they stay. Don't trip, tater chip, love wins at the end of the day. Stick it to the man, stick it to the man. Revolutionary, getting litty with the fan. Yeah, I be on my grizzly, getting busy for the plan. Ask me why I did it, yo, I did it cause I can. Nothing gonna stop me, finna hit them till they can't. Take it anymore, they gon' give us our demand. Youth gon' rise up, stick it to the man. I'ma rage till I die, cause this is who I am. Fat cats eating while the rest of us starve. We can't have that, fed up, get ready for war. Can't have that revolution doing the most. We won't go quiet, don't listen to us, you told. We done playing with you, it ain't a game, yo, we making history. Read, baby, fuck the fame, I wanna change the system. Break your prison, got the key for the lock. Won't stop till we free and my people on top. On God, homie, is you really with us, so what? You bout, make a decision, get busy living, so out for the real things. You are what you do, who are you? I'm definitely and I kangaroo. Stick it to the man, stick it to the man. Youth gon' rise up, stick it to the man. Youth gon' rise up, stick it to the man. Youth gon' rise up, stick it to the man. Run up in the Senate, niggas ice. Think you getting over on us, but you not. The system has been rigged, the government's been bought. The house don't represent us, it represents the op. Stand with standing by, take the man right out. God damn it, we ain't having what you handing out. We want clean air, clean food, water. A future for our kids, bitch, this a new order. Tear down the wall, love is for all. Death to the man in the system we call freedom ain't free if you can't breathe. Real people stay woke, we ain't gon' sleep. Get it crackin', packin' activism. A full clip, show them crackers we ain't having all that bullshit. The aristocracy is gonna share starting now. Stick it to the man, pull the trigger. Wow, stick it to the man. Stick it to the man. Stick it to the man. Stick it to the man.
Stick it to the motherfucking man.
Alright, the informationalist.
All right, brothers and sisters, we're back. I hope you enjoyed that intermission with the music. And brother and bottom my wow, got tongue tied here. Brother, you on mute, brother. Brother Abond and I are gonna close it out now. So, we covered the sins of the synthetic people for this episode. And any closing conclusions, comments, statements that you'd like to make, brother?
First and foremost, giving all praises to the Most High through Christ, for letting us come out here and deal with this topic, and for spreading this out through the internets or airwaves or whatever it is. Also, you can call me anything, bro. Just don't call me late for dinner. And other than that, bro, it's like the brother said, and you said it earlier. This is the song that never ends. And this seems like what it's going to be. It started out as a little bit, and it's going, and it's more and more and more and more and more as it goes on. It's just never going to end. People have to deal with it in their own minds and in themselves instead of following a narrative, and make the decision within themselves instead of being led around like sheep. And that's how it's going to slow down and end. And then also, again, giving all praises to the Most High through Christ.
Thank you, brother, for coming on to the show.
Yep, you're welcome. All praises.
So, brothers and sisters, let me put that theme music that I first started out with so we can end off this segment. I think it's very fitting for this episode. And let's get it popping here. Yeah. So, brothers and sisters, I hope you enjoyed and got great edification about this abomination from the network of awareness. And when you live in the present, there's always an opportunity for a new beginning through the grace of the Most High, through His Christ, through the Messiah, through the Heavenly Father, our great creator of that which is and always will be. All I could do is bring awareness, people. You make the decision on what you want to do with it. Because remember, Satan, even though he's a good liar, he's a much better deceiver. And this deception, as Brother Bond said, is going to continue on and on. So use the proper discernment to battle against this wickedness in the spiritual warfare that we're in these days of revelations. And when you are in that tunnel, brothers and sisters, like many of us are, we're in that darkness. Don't look for the light at the end of that tunnel, because you're never going to find it. Why? Because the Most High created us in His image, which is that spiritual everlasting light. So, the light is within you. Light up the tunnel and find your way through the darkness. This is already the information is saying, peace, love, and light, and all praises to the Most High in Christ, and shalom.
Shalom.